another 1,000, we can see you both, is what Alexander is saying. Well, thank you.
That's good, because we are both in the interview, and it's good,
yeah.
you know. You must see us both.
It would be strange if they only see one of us in the spot.
But can they hear us both?
I think so. Otherwise, it would right now go in the room like
technical disturbance. We only have the only technical thing is that we like to launch a promotion, but with this type of votes we cannot do it.
So we have to wait, but we have still an hour, 1.5 hours maybe even to get things in order. But today, at least 500 other votes for Kajan.
Yeah, I said I wanted to do it when he has 1,500. You know, you cannot always pretend.
I think maybe it's good. Stuart, can you give maybe Daniel or somebody access so they can chat again in the group and put the links in there so that everybody knows still what to do? It would be good if Kajan himself, Mr. Kajan himself, translates tonight very well into Farsi.
Yes, that's
what they need to do. Download the app, select the poll,
click and go for Kajan. Yeah, that's what we do, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how easy it is.
It's very easy. Over the week I saw votes coming in, but not in the amount that I expected. I still think that
a little bit. The next day it was still pretty good, but after that, you know,
it slips away.
So you see that for a moment we can hold on, and people are motivated and they want to do it, but then I don't know.
Let it go.
Life distractions.
It's like network marketing. They start very fanatic. And yes, I'm in. I'm going to call a couple of people. They get a couple of resistance. Difficult, you know. But after a week, no, it's nothing for me. It doesn't work.
They give up on the dream.
And so easy. So easy. Normally you do a 90-day game plan. This
it's a 90-minute game plan. For the next 90 minutes, we need to get Kajan back on the number one. I want to see that it works for sure, that we see at least a few coming in right now already, otherwise let's see if at least one came in. Two votes, okay.
Two votes.
Some people already start to understand, of course the translation needs some time as well. Kajan, it is up to you tonight. Make sure that everybody in Iran on the call, I know there's hundreds of people on the call every week, and some of them for sure have not voted yet. Make sure that they vote, but also find somebody close to them. Maybe they're sitting in a living room right now with people, with parents, with children, with...
And we have a whole team in the Middle East as well.
Team in the Middle East.
We have a team in the Middle
Show
East.
who you are.
Because
the next poll, one of you might be in the list, and then we're gonna make sure that you win too. So this is the time.
To train you a little bit on getting this type of things done.
And it must be so big that the rest is not. They already give up. They're like, we cannot handle it.
We have a Russian team. I think
Russian team.
A Russian team.
I see that the link. Daniel posted the link. And says vote, and I agree. Vote. That means 4 votes for everybody on the call tonight. Make sure that you are sitting at home, and make sure that during the call, you make 4 people vote for Kajan.
Yes, and the Russian team over there, I think you are with a couple of hundred as well. 600-700 people in the team of Vatina Marina and the team of Alexander.
Hey, can you imagine if we do it so big and so fast tonight that the rest are on the list, they just give up like that's too much.
He can get that done. And there's a team out of Latin America. I don't know who's translating, Jorge Roman or
somebody
Ortiz or somebody is translating. I don't know who is translating.
And we have a few hundred right now on the call, on the English-speaking call as well. So 4 times 3 is already, or 4 times 4, it's 1,200.
It's an easy thing. It's an easy thing, but you have to do it. And maybe you think, when are those guys going to speak about the real thing? This is the real thing, and we continue talking about the voting for the next 2 hours. What do you think?
And to be honest, I had something prepared that I wanted to launch tonight.
Yeah, so
but we have to, the votes, we made an agreement last week, and we would be on 1,500, so we have to postpone this to next week.
And I wanted to show the people, because we had the 5 countries chosen, so that means there were 5 countries not chosen. Suriname, Peru, Rio de Janeiro, Nigeria, and Lebanon.
Sao Paulo.
Yes, Sao Paulo. They were not chosen. By coincidence, 3 out of Latin America were not chosen.
Maybe they don't vote.
They go to the next week. They come 5 new countries.
You get 5 new countries.
Yeah, but when nobody votes for Cayam, maybe we do that next month. We don't
And
do
people
it.
need to understand, the votes from last month, they are gone. So it's not that you take the votes from last month into the next month.
That would be beautiful, but you can, we can consider that one.
Maybe one of those countries finally will make it.
Wow, yes. So we would like to announce those 5 new countries as well that are going to be in competition with the 5 that were not chosen, so that it becomes 10. But yeah, are they voting more than 2 or 4? Roald?
I have no clue. I will check it. I will check it right now.
Because, guys,
Now we have 4 more votes, so it's 6 in total.
6 in total. You know, are we going to do a film or something? I'm going to drink some coffee then, because
We
we
have-
have to see some results.
Let's have Greg and Jason in this conversation as well.
Yes.
I wanna hear what they say. What do they have to say about the speed of the voting?
Yeah, the speed of the voting is like a snail that is passing a high road.
I think you guys are hilarious. I think you guys are hilarious.
Where are the books?
Yeah, so
Where are the books? Are you
so
in front of a safe? It's in front of a big safe.
Is that a safe?
I don't know, but I make it a safe. I like a safe.
It didn't look like.
no, it's a wall. It's a wall. I'm at my son's house in Georgia, and I just moved down here yesterday. I'm not in my own place yet. I will be this week, but I'm at my son's house, and so it looks like a safe. He did this wall. It's beautiful.
You had some color. Georgia is warmer than New York, isn't it?
It is. It's beautiful here. I'm excited to be back here. I'm ready to start life in this area. I love this town. It is warm. It's a good place, so I'm excited.
And do they have Wi-Fi where you are? The connection was a little bit.
They do have Wi-Fi in Georgia. Let me see. Hang on a second. Hold on. You're right. Hold on.
Jason, yeah, he's still on a beach, I think, in Florida.
He's hanging around Florida, but
I have the feeling that we're doing something wrong, because we are week in, week out here in front of of course we can make it a sunny background if we want, but yeah, this guy is enjoying the life.
I promise you, next week I will do it from a beach side. So I'm flying tomorrow to the Caribbean.
I know, but
and I'm looking forward.
but then somebody else comes in here, and we still have 2 people in the green studio.
That's good. So some people, the people that now have the vacation, they come here. Yeah.
So, Greg, what do you think about the voting?
I think that it's a funny thing. You guys are making me laugh because I think if we spend 2 hours talking about the voting, I'm gonna laugh the entire time. I think it's hilarious. I also think that it's pretty common in this type of an environment. I think you said it perfectly, Igor. This is just an analogy of this kind of a business where people come in and get excited for the moment, and then they get distracted. I think, Roald, you said distraction, but people do this, and they really just do what you ask them to do while you're asking them to do that. And it's something to pay attention to from your own awareness. Like, why are you not staying on this all week long to help watch it and make sure that we win? This should be part of your analysis of whether you're winning, whether the company is winning. I talked about this last week, that it's about the mission first. It's the mission, then the team, then the individual. And Igor, you say it all the time from Zig Ziglar. We came up in the same training. If you help people get what they want, you get what you want. And so what we have to do is help get Kayan what he wants. That actually is something that we want, and we all need to play in it and never stop until the game is done and we win. And so that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm watching here. And so the fact that it's a week later, and yes, we shot up 1,000 votes from last week to this week, but we have thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are not voting, who would actually send us meteorically catapulting through the numbers. We should win this, and that's good for our brand and our company. So that's what I think about this is quit screwing around, download the app, cast your vote for Kiyan, and come back to this meeting, and we'll get on with the business of the business.
Like Les Brown is saying, it's not over until we win.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's my opinion. Jason, what's your thought on it?
Well, I am back in my home. I'm not on a beach. I wish I was back. I wish I was back on the beach. I had to come back. I forgot my kids at school tomorrow, so they gotta get back to the classroom. Their dad wanted them to learn at the beach, but their teachers didn't think that was a good idea. So here I am back at home. I have to admit I missed the call last week and what the voting was about, but I'm getting the gist of what was agreed to. And I think it's a simple thing is that when you have an agreement, you have an agreement. And when you measure people's commitment more than you measure their activity. So if someone's committed to something, their activity will follow. If you're committed to doing something, and if you agree to do something, then you should be able to do it. And I just think that that's the way it is. Kiyan is a servant leader, and I've never met somebody who's more willing to use their time, use their energy to help so many other people. That he deserves to have everyone have his back. He's had everyone else's back for a long, long time. People in other countries, people in other languages to translate the four of us knuckleheads. For myself, I know I speak fast, so I'm sure his tongue's always blazing when he has to translate us. But it's like the roulette wheel of leadership. That sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow, sometimes you get the hell out of the way. And it's just something that talent doesn't mean anything unless you're teachable. And unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck in their talent, or they get stuck in their righteousness, or they get stuck in their I don't need to do that, or why should I do that, or what's the reason for doing that, or why would you not do something if I didn't do it. So there's lessons in everything, and it's just what are you grateful for? What are you trying to learn? What did you learn? What did you learn about yourself? What's working and what's not working? Always being able to debrief, always being able to gain perspective on the reality. And it reminds me of trainings that Craig and I used to do, and other people all over the world, is a lot of times when we would teach leaders how to be better leaders, is a lot of times we would put them into a game. And we'd put them into a game with not telling them all the rules. Here you told them the rules. The rules were, hey, we need 1,500 people to do something by X amount of time, and that's how we'll continue on. But a lot of times, you're trying to teach people something about leadership. You put them into a game where they don't know the rules. They've never played the game before. And the reason why you play games, the reason why you put people into a game like you put them in a week, you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to get something, right? There's a time frame to it. There's rules to a game, just like business has rules to a game, life has rules to it. When you put people into a game, games become a reflection of people's behavior. Games become a reflection of people's real behavior. And so this is just a reflection of people's real behavior, that when you put them into something, when you ask people to do something, this is the real behavior that comes back. It's not right or wrong. It just is what it is. It's a reflection of what is there. It's a reflection of who is there. It's a reflection of what is there. And it's nothing but feedback. And to me, it's good feedback. It's good feedback to know where we are. A leader cannot never do anything unless you deal in radical reality. It's just radical reality. And so, actually, I'm grateful for the feedback, because the feedback allows us to move. The feedback allows us to focus. The feedback allows us to change. The feedback allows us to get better. The feedback allows us to evolve. The feedback allows us to get stronger. The feedback allows us to know who's who and who to focus on and who to give our attention to. That plain and simple. You treat everybody fairly, but you don't treat everybody equally. And that's true for leadership. Everyone gets a fair shot, but when it comes to developing leaders, certain leaders will get more time and attention than other leaders. And so it just tells us where we spend our time.
Wow. Thank you. In the meantime, at least we passed 1,300, so now we have another 40 votes that came in.
So it's going to work.
It works a little bit. It's another 26 votes to get to the number 2 position. So I think it's something that needs to be done before we even continue. And Greg already suggested we can talk for 2 hours about voting.
Yes.
And we have a whole training prepared about voting, so no problem there. But we can also do this in maybe 2 minutes and continue with the call.
Yes, I think that's what we do.
So everybody out there, make sure you get the votes out there. We made an agreement for 1,500 votes today.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't make it, but let's make sure that we get some votes in there and that Kayan is back to the number 2. And this is something that we want to get into your system.
Yeah.
Next poll that comes out, everybody knows exactly what to do. And not just in the beginning that we're number 1 because somebody has 70 votes and the rest of the world still needs to wake up. But next poll, everybody is going to be afraid of what's coming from this side because they already know that day after day, week after week, we push hard and we get the people to the number 1. So this is a good way to start.
You know, Roald, I want to just add one thing to that. What's important here is that this global call is what made this different starting last week. This global call became interactive. It became interpersonally interactive, and we have the opportunity to cast our support for a beloved guy on our team. There's no one that doesn't like Kayan. If you don't like Kayan, I don't like you, because there's no reason. The guy is pure heart. He's pure servant, just like Jason said. He truly is a rising star in our community. And when we talk about high impact activities, some high impact activities are hard, and some high impact activities are easy. Igor, you said in the beginning, this is so simple. This is a matter of downloading the Business for Home app. That's not hard. Go to the store on Google or Android or Apple. Download the BFH, the Business for Home app. It's so easy. And then they show polls. Click on polls. You'll see the rising star, and they have the names. Kayan is on the. He's number 2 or 3 all the time. So why are we even spending so much time doing this? It's not about Kayan. You need to understand. This is, yes, we love Kayan. Yes, it is sort of about Kayan. This is about Success Factory. This is about attention. This is about intention. This is about things that matter and things you can control. You can control whether you download the app and participate. You can control whether you sit at home with a frowny face and just watch everybody talk and then complain that you don't have a big enough check or whatever. Or you can get in this conversation as if you're having a live conversation with Roald and Igor and Jason and I. The truth is, if we were talking to you face to face, we'd say the same things, the exact same things. We'd encourage you the exact same way. These are a thing that matters. It matters to our brand. It matters to your business. It matters to Kayan. It matters to Success Factory. It matters to people that you point to Business for Home and say, hey, listen, our guy is the top guy of the rising star. Our people are the top earners. Our people are the fast-growing business. You want to be in this community. This has a ripple effect across humanity that draws people to us. So don't underestimate the powerful compounding impact of these small little things that seem like they're crazy. And you're probably sitting here going, I just want to watch this presentation. I just want to hear what Roald and Igor have to say. I just want to know how I'm going to make more money. That's fine. You know how you're going to make more money? Vote for Kayan. That's how you're going to make more money. And you don't understand how? Well, it's not a clear link to you placing a vote for Kayan and your paycheck going up. But there's an indirect link that if you understand it, the more you communicate to one another, the more that the world communicates to you in the form of the things that you need. This is a very important mindset, and I wanted to add that because what's special about what's happening right now with you two there in Amsterdam and Jason and I here in Georgia is that we are actually able to have interaction, which is way cool with one another. And I just wanted to say, let's be doing this kind of stuff all the time so people are participating and we're hearing their voices of effort in these calls, because I think it's awesome.
Yes. What do you give? What do you do to be able to receive? That's the question.
And many times things that are easy to do are also very easy not to do. So that's also a mindset thing. We have another 5 votes to get us to the number 2. Oh, actually 3 votes. are back at number 2, then we will start step by step to get the call into place.
Yes.
We have a lot of things that we want to share. There's a lot of preparation. Actually, last week's, I think that everybody that was on the call, week after week, we announced either updates in the compensation plan, updates to make it easier to get to certain ranks, promotions that are there for double units, of course, for the view, but also the promotion that April and May are going to be calculated together to get to the rank. So that's the 100% cash account on Forex, the view,
Maybe we
and
have
bank.
to draw that back.
The,
Take that back.
the people understand that week after week after week we have very good announcements, powerful announcements, sometimes in the form of a promotion, but sometimes it starts as a promotion, but we make it final in the next update or next month, and it's something that we want to test and see how it works, and if it works well, and if it's good for you and good for the company and good for the customer, we make sure that it stays there. So I hope that people understand
I think
all the
we
improvements.
did so much improvements that from my point of view, it must be very easy to get this vote done. You know,
Let's make it like that. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe people feel a little bit guilty, but if you're happy about all the announcements, all the updates, all the improvements in the compensation plan, that this is definitely a way to show it back to the company as well.
yes, show some gratitude. What are you able to give?
He is back at number 2.
And do, wow,
So now we can finally have a normal beginning of the call.
now we
Hey,
can-
the call started. Hey!
Now, finally,
Oh, shit.
hallelujah, inshallah, Hare Krishna. 45 minutes later.
We get started.
Now we can now see, because I know that Andrea is in Samarkand as well as she's waiting to be locked in as well. She wants to say something beautiful as well. But yeah, now we can finally
Maybe-
go on with this global thing.
Maybe that's a nice thing to get started with.
Yeah,
Is she already as a speaker in the call?
I have no clue.
Let's ask, did you already tell the technical department
No,
that she will be in the
no,
call?
I tell it now.
Very
I tell
good.
it now. I forgot about it. I was so in this voting contest
Yeah, no problem.
that we.
So anyway, then let's get started with you, Greg, because you already shared a lot of valuable information about the voting, and I think we get the rhythm going. But I'm looking forward to hear the training out of you.
I see a beautiful woman in Saint Martin, so I'm gonna defer to her, and we'll go there first.
I didn't see that. I cannot see it from here, but it's great that you see it from there.
So, hello from
Hey,
San Martin. You
whoa.
see my beautiful view. I know that my husband is jealous because, I told him, hey, my dear, once you're a vice president, yeah, you need to do things differently, and the freedom of the networker is away. I can work from any place in the world. Look how
You're
beautiful.
very hot, Andrea. It's like 30 degrees here as well. Don't worry.
But Andrea, I'm coming tomorrow to you, so be careful.
So I already invited my beautiful diamonds from South America coming here. They come on Thursday until the Tuesday, so they will be here a couple of days, sharing together vision, power, excitement, and making new plans, because really there is a lot to do, honestly. So I'm really looking around, and by talking also with a couple of leaders, because I need to interview them for the Business Forum convention. Honestly, I'm really grateful and thinking how beautiful opportunity we have, because by hearing other opinions, I'm not going to make any names, but they all tell me, congratulations for all the work you are doing, guys, and for all what you are launching, and for the opportunity that you are creating with a vision long term. And I think a lot of companies are missing that. So today I would like to really tell you a couple of notes that I have for you, and that I want to stop today and give the importance. I think in the last calls I was talking with Anderson, with his team and my leaders, and I was telling them, I think we need again to practice 3L. I don't know if you know what is an L, but L is the letter L. Listen, learn, and lead. And I see that sometimes we want to skip this process, but you can't skip the process. Good things take time. Growing and growth, you need need time for that. You need a lot. It's a process that you need to follow. And yeah, listening is one of the things that good leaders need to do. I always listen to my leaders, what they want to achieve, what are their goals, what they want to do. I listen what they want to achieve and how they want to do it. And of course, when you are a leader, you need to work differently with the people in your team because people have different motives. They have different objectives. They have different kind of personalities. And listen to your organization. Listen to your leaders that you can learn how to lead them. And I'm working differently with different kind of leaders because everyone has different visions, different objectives, different motivations. And what is the motivation is their why. So lead them with their why. And I was thinking that actually that's the best thing you can do in our business. That's how you want to grow your organization. And then good leaders, ladies and gentlemen, they serve. What can I do for you to make it for you better? What can I do for you that you can become the one destined to be? Serving is not just a word, it's an attitude. It's an attitude you should have in order to help your organization. And that's one of my questions always that I have for my organization. How can I help you? How can I serve you to make it better for you, that it's easier for you to grow? What can I do for you that you can go to the next level? What can I do for you and the team? What can I do? It's not, oh, I'm going to do this. No, what can I do for you? And good leaders also observe. And I've seen a lot of people that they don't really observe. So, ladies and gentlemen, observe your team, observe your people, observe your organization, because they watch your behavior. So if you lead by example, they will observe you and they will follow you. So here comes another important key of success is leading by example, and don't underestimate it, because leading by example is so important. Because this business, don't forget, is monkey see, monkey do, mono ve, mono hace. I will never be tired of saying it. So lead by example, because monkey see, monkey do, and it starts from simple things. I was also talking with the organization of Andy. It starts from just making the right invitation to the people, just making the right presentation to the people, supporting them when they make the phone call, supporting them with presentation, supporting them with trainings. And I'm happy because one of I'm talking about Andy, but I can talk about different leaders, but I just met him 2 days ago on a call. And I'm happy because the Swedish team, even when it was 2 o'clock in the night in Sweden, they connect to the call and they got so inspired that now they copied the same presentation of Anderson, and Andy copied from me with my slides how I talk about the opportunity in big, about the different industries, in which industry we are working, and how can you go into in this opportunity, in this business, how can you start in all 6 different industries. And Anderson took it from me, and Jimmy Nordin took it from Andy. And that's the power of duplication. So that's another thing. And I want to close by telling you, ladies and gentlemen, there are simple keys that we need to do to really become successful in this business. Because, of course, leadership comes with a process, with years of work. But when you want to start first small, you need to first start actually small to become big. And it starts with just simple thing we need all to do, edification. And edification, it doesn't only mean I need to adore my leaders, but edification means edifying my product, edifying the system of the company, edifying the leaders, edifying the industry that we are working in, and of course being grateful for all what the company and the leadership gives us. So edification is not just, oh, I adore my leaders and they are perfect. No, I think that a lot of leaders are not perfect. We all have perfect imperfections, and I love my perfect imperfections. I love the perfect imperfections of the company and of the leadership. So I don't say that we are all perfect, but I'm just saying that make edification for your industry, for your leadership, for the products, for the system, for your upline. Because when you make edification, don't forget that they will say what you are saying. They are listening. They are observing you. So serve all system that we are following. And of course, you need to make duplication to have success. If you don't have duplication in your team, you are still working actually as a self-employee of yourself, because duplication means doing simple things and easy, and helping people doing what you are doing. So duplication is just doing things that other people can do. So it's a simple concept that I still practice, because when I did my presentation for the Andy team, and other people listened to it, it was like, what I'm doing right now, can other people identify and do it also? So when you're talking to people, just think that the first question they will have is, can I do what they are doing? And one of the questions of the people in the team was, do I need to know everything to really become successful about all the products? Do I need to know everything? Absolutely not. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. And of course, when you are new, you don't know everything. That's why your sponsor is there. That's why your upline is there. And here comes another thing very important. That's why the system is there for you. Put the people in the system, because the people that are coming into the system, they for sure will have success. When you are making the duplication, it's you and your team. But when you have a system, the system will work for you even when you are not there. That's the power of a system. And that's why a lot of leaders, they have great system, and they have great organization and great big teams, because they have a system that works for them. And that's why I want to tell you today, it's edify the system, edify all what I told you before, create duplication. And duplication, I mean from all small things, as I told you. Make the contact list, be there for your team, make the phone calls with them, duplicate the right things, because it's very easy also to duplicate the wrong things. And the last and not least is just actually follow the system, because the system is there and works for everyone. Even when it doesn't work for someone, it works for everyone. And that's what I wanted to tell today. I'm ready to really rock and roll. I'm happy to work here. I'm experiencing really the freedom of working from the most beautiful places in the world, because in Amsterdam it's locked down. And when I make the meetings with this view, I can tell you it's worth it. Sometimes there are some planes passing or some noise, but the view is worth it, because at the end of the day, that's what our industry gives us the possibility to do, to work from every place you want. And here there is a jacuzzi where Athena is always swimming, not today, fortunately. As you see, there are a lot of toys here around. I had to close them in the apartment that I can talk, because there are 2 tornadoes around the house. But it's even a beautiful thing. We can still work with people around us, with children around us, from the beach, and looking forward for my Latin team coming here, and who knows, maybe some extra people that we'll invite from Thursday, because it's a long time I don't see them live. And I'm happy that here in San Martin they don't do so difficult for traveling, that we can meet each other. And of course, I look forward that Igor is here tomorrow. Igor, we all miss you. So thank you very much. Follow these 2 gentlemen, because they are giving you a lot of news. Start vote, because voting is not about making someone else big in the business forum side, but it's about contribution, because people want to know which material the leadership of our company is made. And if we are too lazy to just vote someone of 1 minute, come on, people. I mean, we all have time for Facebook, for Instagram, for looking television and everything, and we have no time to contribute for our leadership. Hey, the people want to see which material we are made. And if we are not even able to vote our leaders, they will not even come into our company. They don't even want to join us, because they will say, these people think only about me, myself, and I, and they are not ready for contribution. So, hey, let's vote Sayan, let's listen to the call, focus on all what they are saying, because if you really want to progress, you need to grow and you need to learn. So, you know, the 3 L, listen, lead, learn, and lead. So when not, you are not able to progress. Thank you very much. And I give the word back to our vice presidents and Craig and Jason. Thank you very much. And I'm grateful for all these calls every Sunday. From St. Martin, Andrea Cimbala. Mwah.
Andrea,
Hey,
are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, you did an interview with Matt Morris, and I saw
Yes.
that Julian did an interview with Jerry Tree and Joseph Lim. That is for the Business for Home convention, the Grow.
Yes. industry, network marketing, are coming together. So one of the speakers will be me, will be Igor, but there will be many superstars of many companies. And honestly, I'm happy to edify each one of them, because I do believe that whoever has success, they really have something that works. So I look forward to copy them and apply them in our business, in my organization. So it's from 4 to 5 and 6 June, so 3 days of a virtual event. The price is ridiculous, and there are coming people like Holton Bucks, like Team Sales, like Jeff Robert, people that I was looking the videos for many years on internet, on YouTube. There will be all superstars from other companies, and I'm happy that I'm not afraid to edify them, because I'm of the opinion that you can edify other people and still people can follow you. And I'm happy because are all different players. It's like football, different football players working and for different clubs and different different teams in the world of football. And me and Igor are for Success Factory. That is actually in this moment the best company. I'm not afraid to say it, because we have a lot of potential and we are doing great.
Julian are one of the days the host, I think. Trainer,
yes.
The host. Yeah, I
yes.
look forward for that convention, because it's one of my mentors is there as well, Mr. Jeff Liberty and Holton Bucks. And I look forward that everyone can learn from those giants in the industry. As well, we have Jenna Swagel. As well, we have we have I think we have a lot of
there are a lot of good
marketeers in that event, and everybody is doing it to contribute to give back on what all the things they receive.
Definitely.
And convention, isn't it?
I look forward that they can learn, listen, learn, and lead in our team with all the knowledge they will learn, because I will be one of them. And I do believe that people young like me and with less years of experience, they can learn a lot from all those superstars that had made a lot of mistakes for 30, 20, 15 years, and then they became successful. So why should it took us 30 years. Why should you wait 30 years or 20 years that you become successful when you can just do it maybe in 2, 3, 4, 5 years? So now, we are not microwave leaders, but we can listen, learn, and lead faster because we learn from them. So accelerate the process to your success by going to the people that can teach you everything just in 3 days. So looking forward, Igor.
Yes, I think it's the 4th of June.
4, 5, 6 June, and the ticket is only $35. I mean, I don't know what happened to Ted now that they put it that ridiculous price, because I've seen different conventions that is costing way more. But I do believe that he wants to give back to the industry, and it's making sense. It's making sense. It's not the price, but it's really the knowledge, and it shows how generous people can be also, honestly. I think personally.
Where people can get a testimonial, I think.
Yes, people can actually buy their testimonial of 1 or 2 or 3 minutes. You can look on the website of Business Forum. You can buy, and included you even have tickets, and you even have articles on Business for Home or mentioning you in the event. It's incredible. I don't know what Ted and Dini had this idea. It's really crazy, because I always dreamed when I was young, I would have wished to buy with €1,000 1-minute testimonial, having tickets included, and being mentioned between all those superstars. So can you imagine that your testimonial will end up 1 or 2 or 3 minutes? 1 minute is €1,000, 2 minutes is €2,500, and 3 minutes is €3,000. But actually, you even get a Business Forum article on the site, and you even have tickets. So when I would have been 19, I would have wished to have 3 minutes testimonial, buy with €5,000, having tickets and being with all those names. So I think it's just genius, and I look forward that maybe our leaders and our team can do that, because I hope that not all of us will finish the testimonials and will buy everything, but to affirm yourself and putting your name between all those great ones. Why not? The question is not why doing it, is why not? Because you can do it, you deserve it. Just take action.
Oh, now, Andrea, thank you very much for your contribution. And yeah, it's time. How do we do with the voting? How is the voting going?
Slowly but steady,
Slowly.
Slowly but steady. We are at 13 86 right now, so that means about 130 posts during this meeting.
Okay.
But I think we can have a few hundred at least more, so that in the last 5 days, I'm looking at the top of this message, so there's another 5 days, 15 hours, 58 minutes and 9 seconds to go before this poll will close. So I believe if we really push it today, and then every day keep on doing that for the next 5 days, then we will have a chance to get it to the number one.
Go over before the end, you must go over the 15 under.
100% easy.
Otherwise, we don't
Yes.
the things.
It must be easy. So,
Fast.
Mr. Greg Cushman, are you with us?
Are you ready?
I am with us and am always ready. Yes, indeed.
Good.
Indeed. Listen, I will be quick and to the point, which is not what I usually am. But I love what Andrea said, because what I saw in what she just said is a level of personal authenticity, which isn't in itself a beautiful part of our core values. You know, our core values, I want to remind you, every week it's important that we stay attentive to. I literally have them written down and carry them around with me and think about them all the time, because it's really what makes up the people of our family, of our Success Factory family, which is integrity, innovation, freedom, contribution, and leadership. And what Andrea just displayed in her presentation was, first of all, a little bit of authenticity. That's really her. That's who she is. She's playful but serious. She likes to dress up and make an impression, but she's also very sweet and kind and has a great servant heart. Jason and I have been in their home, and she makes me soup, grandma soup, every time I come, because I love it. I genuinely love her cooking. And she's just a woman who has a great heart, but also she's fierce, and she's formidable, and she is unafraid, and she's quick to learn, and she's humble, and she listens, learns, and leads from that place. I really like that about Andrea, and I like that about anybody. And what I like most about that is that it's authentic. There was a moment in when she was speaking where she had her prepared words, but then Igor asked her some questions, and she went off on her actual, like, just thinking. And it was clear that she knows what she's talking about, and she was engaging in a contribution to all of us, but at the same time, she was contributing to her own experience. And I have to tell you, that's leadership. Authenticity is a big part of integrity, right? Integrity being our first core value is about honesty and trustworthiness and authenticity. And authenticity is a funny thing, because I find that people struggle to be authentic at times. And what we do is we try to identify, when we meet somebody, we try to identify whether somebody's authentic or not. Do you ever find yourself meeting somebody and kind of not sure? You're talking to them and you're not sure, right? And you can tell when somebody's really authentic. When they're really just them, you can tell. There's an energy and a feeling about people. And you can also tell when people are faking it and not authentic. But somewhere in between is where it gets confusing. And we're always trying to find that, because we want to know whether we align and match up with that person or not. That's what we do. And when we find it and we align with it, we actually can reignite our own authentic self. So the question is, why aren't people authentic? I would guess it's ego and shame and doubt, and it's unnecessary, because people are beautiful people no matter who they are. Andrea said it in her stuff that no, you don't need to know everything. You just have to have a passion for good things in life, to help people. And you have to drive for simplicity. You need to try to make things as simple as possible. The way you explain Forex, the way you explain DAG, the way you explain the view, the way you explain bank, the way that you wrap the story together, the way you explain Success Factory, the way you explain the vision to innovate wealth creation for humanity. The goal is to drive it to the simplest conversation and how everything fits together, and keep an honest awareness of yourself. Be honest about your own growth through the process. Jason's done a great job of in previous conversations of delineating or distinguishing capacity from capability, right? Your capability is what you have the skills to do right now. I am not capable of climbing a mountain, but I have the capacity to climb a mountain. I believe that that's possible. I would need to educate, train myself, and all of that, but I'm not capable of doing it right now. So there's a distinction between capacity and capability. And why that's important is because as you build your capacity, which is educating yourself, which is coming to a call like this, considering the words of Andrea and Igor and Roald and Jason, and deciding whether that fits with you authentically, that's where you begin to expand your capacity. And why is that important? Well, think about it this way. The bigger your garden, the bigger the capacity of your garden. The bigger your garden, the more fruit and vegetables comes from your garden. So it only makes sense to try to build the biggest garden that you can. The fruits and vegetables are not in there yet, but you know that because the garden has the capacity, that there's the capability that it could come through. And or think of it in terms of a building. The bigger the building, the more tenants and the more income. So it's creating the space. The capacity is creating the space for the capabilities to come in and fill it. And in nature, there's a concept that says nature abhors a vacuum. What that means is nature doesn't like holes in the ground, right? If there's a hole in the ground, nature fills it in with dirt or water, of course air, but there are no long-lasting big holes in the ground that get created. It always kind of gets filled in. Yes, we can argue there are caves and there are tunnels and things, but all I'm saying is that in nature, when something happens one way, nature tends to fill it in. In your life, it's the same way. When a hole gets created in your life experience, whether it happens to you or you create it, you create an opportunity for something else to fill it in. So why you want to build your capacity is to give yourself the advantage of letting things fill in and making you different, potentially much better. And that is self-awareness. That is self-awareness. So if you can drive to simplicity and be self-aware, you're actually doing the things that a leader does with integrity. You're being innovative with your own style and your own growth. You're setting yourself up for more freedom, a bigger garden. And the bigger your garden, the more you're contributing to the world and other people around you and being a leader. Those are the 5 core values. How do we innovate wealth creation for humanity? We bring them through these core values and expand their brain and their possibility. When somebody's expanded, they're bigger, better, more powerful. And because of that alone, more and better things happen to them. And you are responsible for putting them through that process where they get that opportunity to do that. Everybody wants to see the people around them that they love and care about grow and be better. Somebody wants that for you. I do. And a whole bunch of other people want that exact same thing for you. I want you to grow and be bigger and stronger and wealthier and more powerful. Because I believe this: money in the hands of good people does good things. Money in the hands of good people does good things. I want the money of the world in the hands of the good people of Success Factory to do good things for the world, to bring more people in. Andrea said it. People are saying things now about Success Factory. They're saying things. Wow, congratulations. Wow, you guys are setting up a long-term vision. Wow, that's a different experience. The View, Success Factory, Bank, DAG, Forex Insiders. Forex is winning every day. Like, this is a powerful, powerful place to be. You have to decide how you're going to show up in it. I was doing a training for Irada, who's a blue diamond, I believe. I was doing a training for Irada's team in Jordan this week, and I, prior to that, had looked at something just interesting. I saw a meme on Instagram about a lion and sheep, and I realized those are really two very clear distinctions of the kind of people that are on the planet, right? There are people that are comfortable staying in a herd, and there are people that are comfortable being separate and in a smaller group that want to make something happen. So I did a little research, and I found that lions in the wild live between 8 to 10 years. I didn't know that until I looked it up. They live 8 to 10 years. I kind of thought they lived longer than that, to tell you the truth, but they live 8 to 10 years. In captivity, it's a little bit longer. But sheep in the wild live about the same amount of time. It was fascinating. I was like, oh, they live about 8 to 10 years. That's interesting. Lions travel in what's called a pride, and they're fiercely loyal to the pride, and they go off on their own. They're comfortable. They have an attitude of toughness and that they can get it done. And they're not the biggest animal in the jungle. There are rhinoceroses and elephants and hippopotamuses and giraffes and much bigger animals. There are animals that are more fierce and can be dangerous, but the lion is considered the king of the jungle. And everybody around the world understands that. We fear with respect lions. But the difference with a lions just have an attitude. They just have an attitude that they're going to get it done. When it's time to eat, they're going to eat. When it's time to rest, they're going to rest. Nobody tells a lion where to go. They go on their own. And they do it in a pride, because they're proud of what they are and who they are. Same thing with wolves. Wolves live about the same period of time as well. Wolves operate in a pack. They live in different parts of the world. But we all revere and respect animals like that, like wolves and lions, because they've got attitude. Sheep are different. Sheep are nervous. Sheep are just waiting for potentially getting picked off by a lion or a wolf or whatever. And never have I heard in the history of my life or in the world, I've never heard of a wolf or a lion that's been eaten by a sheep. So here's the deal. I've heard the other way around. Sheep get picked off all day long by wolves and possibly by lions. I don't know if they share the same geography, but the bottom line is sheep are, a group of sheep are called a herd or a flock or a drove. A drove is an interesting word because they're being driven by somebody else, by a shepherd, right? Somebody else is leading them. Somebody else is driving them. A lion is a pride. A wolf is in a pack. These are two different experiences. So now here's the deal. Both live about the same amount of time in life. The question is, do you want to have your head down, just grazing on grass, living nervously, waiting for your life to end, be picked off by some predator, or do you want to put your head up and hunt and go make life happen for you, eat when you want to, have the freedom to travel where you want to, not just in your little safe group? That's the question you have to ask yourself. That's the question of authenticity. That's the question of, are you willing to do the things that are necessary to live the life that you want to live? Igor quoted Les Brown in the beginning, and he said this. I'll give you another quote from Les Brown. He said, if you do what's easy in life, life will be hard. If you do what's easy, life will be hard. If you do what's hard, life will be easy. What I want for all of you, if I could encourage you to do anything, is to take the effort to do the hard things with consistency every day. Do a few small hard things, a few small rituals, business rituals, a few phone calls, a few meetings every day, not twice a week because you lose momentum. I mean every day with consistency. If you'll do that, and it's not easy, trust me, it's not easy, but you will become an emotional contagion, right? So we're all worried about this COVID thing and the fact that it's a contagion. Well, there's lots of contagions in the world, and one of them is an emotional contagion. And I think you need to be a contagion of awesomeness, a contagion of possibility, a contagion of vitality, a contagion of hope, a contagion of vibrancy. You need to be the energetic equivalent of the sun on a dark, stormy day in the lives of the people that you come into contact with. But you can in no way become that person to them unless you're that person to you. And that's where authenticity comes in. Self-awareness, self-reflection, make it simple, don't be complicated, and if you'll do that, then you're going to show up like the lion that you were meant to be on this planet. The wolf pack is here. We want you in it. We're hunting together, but don't be a sheep, because if you're in this wolf pack and you show up like a sheep, I'm going to eat you. So get in here and let's be, in a pack together and go get greatness to happen. I'm going to show you this one thing and I'm going to close. This little Venn diagram is where winning takes place. It's called the intersection of success. You may have seen it before. In fact, I think Jason's shared it before. But I love it. Why do I love it? Because you have talents. And this is what I was saying. This is your capacity and capability conversation. What are you capable of currently, and what capacity are you building toward? Those are your talents, right? What are your passions? How do your talents support your passions? These are the things that you like and you love and that you will suffer with. The Latin root word of passion is that, to suffer with. It's important that you understand that mentality each time, because to suffer with something means you're going to do it even when it hurts. You're going to do it, as Les Brown said, if you do what's easy, you won't suffer with it, then life will be hard. You will suffer. You're going to suffer one way or the other. Suffering is a part of humanity. It's a part of the experience. So the question is, do you want to create the suffering and own it and invite it yourself, or do you want it to come to you and make you suffer even more? I know the answer to that question, and I know you do too. So what is your passion? What are you willing to suffer with? And then what are you going to do that generates money with your talents and your passions? That is where the intersection of success is, and that's where you win. But here's what's super cool. Success Factory lives right here, people. It lives at the intersection of success. All you have to do is build those talents, fire up your passions, and do this business, and it'll generate money, and you will win all day long. And then you have the noble responsibility and blessing to go out and teach that to other people and become the leader that contributes the freedom innovatively to the people that you love with integrity, authenticity, and trustworthiness. This is such a beautiful family and ecosystem that we're in. It's a shame if you don't put your full effort into it. Steve Jobs once said, Steve Jobs, who created Apple, once was quoted as, he spends 3 hours a day on his highest priorities. How many hours a day do you spend on your highest priorities? Because it doesn't matter how awesome you are at things that don't matter. I'm going to say that again. It doesn't matter how good you are, how awesome you are at things that don't matter. Do the things that matter, make them a priority, do the things that you can control, build your talent and your capacity, and I promise you, this life will be an amazing ride for all of you. And with that, I'm going to give it back to the boys in Amsterdam, and I always appreciate the time with you. So listen, be awesome this week, and we'll see you soon.
Wow.
Quick and straight to the point.
I like that you made everybody clear that Success Factory is in the center, that it's completely in the center of everything. It's in the center of your success. It's in the center of the future. It's mesmerizing, beautiful trade. Wow. So how is it with Kayam?
I think that you go to the west, and he comes to the east. So maybe you cross each other with the planes in the next week.
Yes.
So Kayan is at 1436.
1436. About 350
At least. But this is already 110 votes more than the number 3 now, so he's a little bit frustrated now, I think. He's giving up the hope.
So 60 more votes, 60 something more votes.
64.
64.
We'll get it done.
That must be possible. Wow, what a beautiful training this Greg. Greg, it was amazing. I saw now you start to draw circles and things as well.
Duplication.
Listen, you know what? I love the process of the training. Jason and I both were trained by a guy named Blair Singer. Jason has become a master of the flip chart and all of that. But we received the training from Blair, and Blair Singer is the master trainer and uses a lot of that kind of diagramming and pictures because pictures say thousands of words more than just your own words. So thank you for the compliment, Igor. I appreciate it.
Show it to me one more time, Greg, and let everybody take a screenshot of it.
Okay, hang on a second. I was just a second. No, I was just like stacking them up. Here it is, right here.
Take a screenshot of it, ladies and gentlemen. Now you see me.
So as long as you keep quiet, it goes back to Greg. Talks.
Okay, so there it is. I will say it now. I'm on the screen. Take your screenshot, and if you didn't do it by now, too late.
Yeah. People need to act fast. They need to act fast when it comes to voting. They need to act fast when it comes to making a picture of the training of Greg.
Yes. Greg, thank you very much for your
My pleasure.
contribution.
My
So
pleasure.
now we switch not from one city to another city, but from Atlanta to Atlanta, I think.
Atlanta to Atlanta. I love it. I always love it when Craig says I can be quick and to the point. I've known him for many years. I've never seen that occur just yet, but it's he's got a lot. He's got a lot of valuable information. So he has the capability to do it, but he hasn't developed the capacity to pull it off yet. So in his inability and lack of capacity to do it, I will be quick and to the point, and I will not draw because he drew, and Andrea gave a great message as well. So I'll be brief. I want to chime in on what Andrea said and what Craig said as well. You know, when Andrea was talking about the 3 L's, listen, learn, and lead, I think that they're extremely important words, extremely important lessons, extremely important rules and ideas to follow. The other question, the question you need to ask around that, while listening, learning, and leading is important, I'll add a question to put into the front of each of those words to help you narrow your focus a little bit is, who are you listening to? Who are you learning from, and who are you leading? Right? Who are you listening from? Who are you learning from? And who are you leading? And that's why I believe, I spend a lot of time talking about for Business for Home or other people that we learn from. It's important to understand and make sure that you're listening from people that have done something or are somewhere that you're trying to get to. Make sure that you're learning from people that are somewhere that you want to be and that know how to get you to where you want to be. And then the ultimate question is, who are you leading? Are you able to lead yourself, and are you able to lead other people? Because ultimately, the stair-step approach to a progressive lifestyle is, first of all, you have to become a great learner. Then you do have to become a great leader. Then you have to become a great influencing leader, and a great influencing leader knows how to influence leaders. Then ultimately, your goal is to become an empowered leader, where you're empowering influential leaders. And what I think you'll see at the Business for Home event, whether it's the network marketing people that are there, and like Andrea said, Julian also interviewed Sherry Tree, who's also been in network marketing, but has definitely worked with a lot of influencing leaders, is their whole success is predicated on the ability and the capacity to teach other people how to become a leader. So who are you listening to? Who are you learning from? And who are you leading? And are you doing it in an authentic way? The word authenticity came up. Are you doing it in an authentic way? Which means you don't have to be somebody else. You can learn from somebody else. You can listen to somebody else. You can be led by somebody else. But you need to learn and develop the ability and the capacity to be authentic in who you are. And that will ultimately allow you to contribute. The word contribution was used. Craig talked a lot about contribution. Andrea talked about contribution in terms of voting for Kion and what are you contributing to, or who are you contributing to. But ultimately, the question at the end of the day is, how many people will become a leader because of you? How many people in this world will become a leader because of you? How many people are you talking to every single day? How many people are you inviting every day? How many people are you giving presentations to every single day? How many people are you following up with every single day? How many people are you handling their objections every single day? How many people are you learning their bank code every single day and every single week? How many people are you learning to be a master communicator to? Because you see, this product of you, I read a lot there while I was on a trip on vacation. I love to read when I go to the beach, but the book I read, I'm glad a lot of you got this book called The Future is Faster Than You Think. It's an awesome book. You ought to read it because it tells you the future of every single vertical and every single industry that we're in with the view. But I was reading this book. It's called Future Presence. This book was written by a Wired magazine editor, but it's how virtual reality is changing human connection and the limits of ordinary life, right? Future Presence. How virtual reality is changing human connection and the limits of ordinary life. And inside of this book, there's a great chapter. I had to go back and reread it. It's probably got sand all over from the beach, but there's a spot in here where we talk a lot about where and what countries we're going to go to, and we're going to start with travel and tourism, and that's unbelievable, and that's awesome. And I also hope that some of you have been seeing some of the videos that Julian's been putting out where he's going into virtual meetings with his glasses and his VR headset. He's setting up his virtual office. He's learning the ins and outs of the industry. And what I love about what Julian is doing is what this book was talking about is the way people get intrigued in virtual reality is where they can go and what they can do, right? So it starts with where they can go and what they can do. And that grabs everyone's attention. But the power of it is what you see Julian doing. And I love that he does this. The power of the view and the power of virtual reality is not where you can go and what you can do, but it's who you can do it with. It's who you can do it with, right? And it's about building a community. It's about who can you do it with. So where you can go and what you can do is unbelievable. And that gets people into it. But what makes people stay in it, and what makes people want to stay in it, is everything that we're talking about. Is your ability to listen, your ability to learn, your ability to lead, the ability to be authentic, the ability to contribute, the ability to do things with people in places and in scenarios inside of another reality. But it's who can you do it with? And when you're there, who are you going to do it with means that they'll stay there if there's value being added to them. They'll stay there if there's value people in mind when you build this business? Do you have other people in mind as you go about doing the things that you do? It may start with you have your dreams, you have your aspirations, you have your goals, and you have your desires and what you want to do and who you want to become. But ultimately, your success becomes how many people are you leading? How many people are becoming a leader? And inside of the View, whether it's the View, whether it's Bank, whether it's Dagcoin, whether it's the Forex products, how many people are you leading to a better lifestyle, and are you contributing something to them? Because, you know, when they see Success Factory in Business for Home, or they see our leaders for Business for Home, that may be the where and the what. That may be where they want to go and what they want to do, but they'll stay because of who's here. They'll stay because of who they're becoming. Don't forget the who when you're talking about the where and the what. Don't forget the who when you're talking about the where and the what. And then I'll close with this. I have this little thing dangling up on my wall. This was actually a gift from Sherry Nestor gave this to me, but I saw someone post something in the group about it. Someone had posted something about the Dalai Lama. This is actually a quote from the Dalai Lama. It's great. It just sits up here on my wall. It says, "Never give up." I'll read this. I think it's phenomenal. You're talking about changing people's lives and doing things for other people. It says, "Never give up. No matter what is going on, never give up. Develop the heart. Too much energy in your country is spent developing the mind instead of the heart. Develop the heart and be compassionate. Not just to your friends, but to everyone. Be compassionate. Work for peace in your heart and in the world. Work for peace, and I say it again, never give up. No matter what is happening, no matter what is going on around you, never give up." This is from the Dalai Lama, and I'll read that. It's a message for you, it's a message for everyone, is never give up. Never give up developing something for other people. Compassion is a word. Compassion is a word that can be lived one of two ways. It can be lived out as a noun, or it can be lived out as a verb. Compassion as a noun means that you're aware of other people's problems, but it doesn't compel you to get into movement. You're aware of other people's problems or concerns or worries or needs or anxieties, but it doesn't compel you to move into action. You can become aware, you can be compassionate that people are living in poverty, or they're hungry, or they don't have an opportunity, or they have anxiety, or they have fear, or they have the lack of money, or they don't know how to save money, or they don't know how to invest, or they have excuses, but it doesn't compel you to get into movement. However, compassion as a verb means that once you become aware of a problem, it compels you to get into motion towards it, right? It compels you to get into movement. So you can live compassion as, oh, I'm just aware, but I'm not willing to do anything about it. Or you can have compassion as a verb, which means now that I'm aware, now I have to go do something about it. So how concerned are you? How much compassion do you have for other people that are trying to become a better version of themselves? How much compassion do you have for other people that live in fear and anxiety? How much compassion do you have for other people that really would like to go after their dreams, but they don't know how? How much compassion do you have? I mean, what are you going to do? Who are you listening to? Who are you learning from? And who are you leading in order to get the job done? Too many people in the world are trapped. They're trapped in their own mind. And, you know, Craig brought up the pandemic and the virus that's out there. This was the other book that I was rereading while I was on vacation. Ironically, it's called Viruses of the Mind. Viruses of the Mind. This was written by a guy by the name of Richard Brody. He wrote this book in 2009. Viruses of the Mind. Viruses of the mind are more powerful than any other virus that's out there, because you can believe anything that you believe. It's called your operating center of beliefs. And you have these beliefs and you hold on to them. And you may not be able to break away from them, even if you're presented with some radically real truth has more truth in it than something else. It doesn't compel you to get into motion. And so who are you listening to? Who are you learning from? And who are you leading? Are phenomenal questions. And with that, always remember to ride the wave of life and always play big. How many people are going to become a leader because of you? How many people are going to become a leader because of you? I look forward to sharing more information with you. We're working on the presentations. We're working on the business models for all of you. And I think you guys are going to be absolutely blown away by what's coming down, what's going to land in your laps, your ability to tell a story that's simple, that compels people to get into motion, that compels people to want to become a leader. And so always play big. I'll turn it back over to our trusted hosts back in the Netherlands.
Wow, great. Thank you very much, Jason. Andrea brought up listen, learn, and lead. So you made it. Who are you listening to? And I think that's a beautiful question. Who are you listening to? What are you learning? And who are you going to lead? Now I want to put it one step further because I thought about it. Is the most a reason why people are not learning, not listening, and not leading is the important question: why? Why should I listen? Why should I learn? And why should I lead? And I thought about that question, Jason. I think the why question is what is all behind. Why? Why should I face all my fears? Because at the other side of your fear is all your success. Yeah, but why should I do it? My life is not great, but you know why? And I thought about the why. Everything on this planet tries to grow, tries to live, and outgrow the surrounding. A tree tries its ultimate best to grow as high as possible to put its leaves under the sun. An animal tries to make his area as big as possible so that he has a pleasant life and a safe life. And humanity is the same. Humanity likes to maximize its potential. So why should you learn? Why should you listen? And why should you lead? My answer for that is that you can become the one destined to be, that you are able to unlock that unlimited potential that each of you have inside them. Because all those people out there, it's not only Kayan that is upcoming leader. We have, I think,
a company full of rising
thousands
stars.
of upcoming leaders. So the question is why? Why should you become the one destined to be? So that you can make a difference in your family, ladies and gentlemen. Because your family is waiting for centuries on somebody that's going to make the difference. Like we all are doing. We decided we don't come from rich families.
If not you, then who?
Yeah, if not you, then who? So the question, why? When you can answer that why, it is very simple to do. It's very simple. Why? Then you can ask that question, who am I going to listen to? In our company are a lot of leaders that know the way, that know what to do. So but you need to be able to answer that question, why? And for the why, you have the plan, you have the goals. For why, you have the vision board. That's your why. Look around you, look to your family. Look around you in this world of viruses. Like Jason said, viruses of the mind. You think that COVID-19 is the worst virus? The virus of negativity that is in your head. It's not what people say about you that brings you down. It's the way you think about you that makes everything possible or knocks you down deeper than your feet are on the ground. It will destroy you. Your why is tremendously important. Why should you learn? Why should you listen? Why should you learn? You lead. Simply to become the one destined to be and to be able to unlock that unlimited potential. How is it with the boat, Noel?
You think you're ready for the countries?
I don't know. Let's see. I have a why. I have a big why.
We can for sure already put the slides on. We have another 44 votes to go to the 1500.
Wow. So we're getting close.
We're getting closer. So
Getting close.
can we go again? So we get the slides up behind us.
Yeah, but you have to do your magic
Oh yeah, the magic trick. The magic trick.
No.
1, 2, 3.
Whoa! Hey!
Works every time.
There it is! There we have it! And you can touch it. Yeah. Oh, you go into it! Hey, can I disappear? Yeah, I go behind.
I think you can.
Oh.
of getting double units, so of course people focus more on those. And it's not some country in the south of something nothing, but there's actually countries out there with huge history, like Egypt. I think Egypt is one of the fastest growing new regions that we have, and I think that maybe in 1 or 2 months that might be a top 5 region as well. That's hoping for both for it. We're still United Arab Emirates, but then again, in 1 week we're gonna have the balls again.
Yes.
So we take out a few regions, and if one of those regions get out, then it changes fast.
Like it happened with Spain. Top 5, still there.
Still benefiting from that. So
Yeah.
and we're gonna do it a little bit different this time. So we split up the regions next week into 125 regions, 250 regions, 500 regions, 1,000 regions, and out of every bowl we take one. So we take the top 4, maybe top 3, top 4 out of each category, and then it depends how many. Yeah, it depends how many there are, but let's see how we can do. But at least top 3 makes sense.
Oh, but how do I do that? Because I'm in Samarkand next week with the Latin Caribbean retreat.
Yeah, you go to the sun. I have then the benefit of taking the balls.
Yeah, or I take the balls with me.
I think so. We have the notary here. They must check if everything goes according to the regulations, and it's a real ball, of course.
And I know that Iran is very close to Spain.
Iran and Saudi Arabia are right behind Spain. So then, we actually can start this already because we first showed the 5 countries that region that lost. Were not chosen last time.
Yeah.
So still Suriname with the capital of Paramaribo in there.
Yeah. With 500,000.
There's only 1,200 units. I think that people underestimate that this can go really fast. The moment it catches on, 1,200 units for another very high price. Exactly, it can go really fast.
Yeah, this could be a high runner. Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. 2,500 units. 250 euro. Yes.
Nigeria still in there with 10,000 units for 125 euros.
Yeah, but 200 million population. Lebanon.
Population of Lebanon 6.84 million, 3,500 units for 125 euros. They also have a lot of history actually. At the price 125 units, 3,500 units for 125 euros is not that much either. So those were the 5, but now we go to 5 new regions.
We
But
have 5 new ones.
let's see how it is with the voting.
How is it going?
Another 5. So 1,460. So it's up to you if you only want to start with some new regions here.
So how much is it? How much is it?
We need another 40 votes to get to the 1,500. And to be clear, the 1,500 actually was an agreement between last week and today.
Yes.
Because today we anticipated to go to the number 1 position, but yeah, all of a sudden we were number 3 and we had to first go back to the number 2.
Okay, how we missed now 40 votes, huh?
40 votes.
40 votes. So when we have 10 more votes, we give the first country. What do you think? When we have 10 more votes, we give the first country away. When we have 10 more votes, we give the next one.
And in the meantime, we can just
We can drink some coffee or something. What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, how do you do? Get us 10 votes and we give you the next country. And when can you start voting for that?
the voting starts on the 15th, I think, automatically. So
automatically.
there's 2 weeks to vote, or about 2 weeks to vote. So what is it today? 11?
And actually,
4
who
days?
can vote for it?
Everybody that has at least 1 membership in the view. Doesn't matter if it's a founders membership or one of the global memberships that people have.
So when they didn't buy it on one account, but on 3 accounts, they can do 3 votes.
Yeah, if it's not an income center, then of course.
And it's possible.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, how do we go?
They can have more votes then, no problem.
I like it. now it's just waiting. Now it's just a matter of waiting, ladies and gentlemen. That's the time.
Actually, what people don't know, but what we know, of course, but something big is going to happen this week as well. Actually, already before the call of next week.
Yes. What are we going to do about that? Announce it when we reach 1500 or?
Definitely not going to announce it.
We are not going to announce.
We're not going to announce, but we are going to announce that we announced something somewhere this week.
Yeah, now,
By the way, I think that everybody since last week.
we can announce it when we hit 1600. But what do you think? I will do my best, but you know.
I was actually, we actually wanted to explain the leadership pool today, but that was only when we got to the 1500 votes. So we didn't make that this week, so we have to postpone that already to next week.
The leaders pool goes to next week. How are we? Are we ready for one country?
6 on. Now it goes a little bit faster.
Four to go, and I give you the first country. 4 to go, ladies and gentlemen. 4 to go. Do we have 4? Do we have 3? Do we have? How far are we? Do we have 4? 3? We have 2 to go. Only 2 to go. Wow. It's a struggle. Make sure you get it done. We have 2 to go, Rowan. And then we have to continue because we have 5 countries.
Yeah, 70.
Yes,
We have it.
71. So,
And if you keep on, then we can tell something about the region. And in the next moment, it must be over 1480. So we can already go to the next one as well.
yes,
So the first new region that people can vote on.
it is Austria. Wow. So, Austria, that's a beautiful one. That's between,
A lot of potential.
yeah, it's in the middle of Hungary, Germany, Italy, Switzerland. And it is one of the
I
richest
think we have some new
countries.
Austrian leaders in the company as well.
Yeah, we are building Austria right now. They are building all over the place. I know people in Vienna, Wenen, capital Wenen, that is Vienna.
Yeah.
So Wenen, it's my son Paris who made it. He put it in Dutch, Vienna. The capital is Vienna. There are living almost 9 million people. I think they will have 9 million. The average income is extremely high. It's over 2,200 euros. We have a price per unit for 1,000 euro because it's an extremely rich country. It's a top 25 richest countries in the world. And we have only 2,500 units there. Like equally to Sweden, for example. And Austria has a lot to offer. Austria was host to Winter Olympics. They did twice. They did that in Innsbruck. They have the Milka chocolate. Actually, Red Bull Racing is coming from
Austria as well.
Austria.
Yeah.
And
Max Verstappen,
yes, he's Dutch, but right for the
Austrian team.
Red Bull and Swarovski. Swarovski.
That's why you like it. That's why you like the country.
Austria has the mountains, it has the lakes, it has the waterfalls, it has beautiful cities like Salzburg, like Innsbruck, like Vienna, like Linz, like they have many beautiful places to go. It's one of my favorite vacation destinations. Winter sport.
You started that like 2 years ago.
Wow, winter sport. You go to Seeveld or Kitzbühel or Austria has the most awesome winter sport. Actually, the après-ski is the most famous.
That's what people like the most. So let's see if we are ready for another
We
region.
do another region.
1480.
1480. We
So
can do the next
If
one.
we do it at this speed, then we can go on like this.
Oh, we go it.
Wow.
Next country is Poland, ladies and gentlemen. Poland. And capital is
Warsaw.
Warsaw. Wow.
I don't know if that's in Dutch or the same in English actually, but I think
Warsaw. I think it's French as well. It's Warsaw in English. It's Warsaw, and it has a population of almost 38 million people. The average income is rapidly growing. It's one of the richest Eastern European countries. Price per
Poland over there?
1.3 million Polish people are living in Chicago. And there's a huge community of Polish people in the United States. So when we open the United States, then having Poland already in it, that's the country where they are originated from. How are we with the voting?
1492.
92, so we can give the next country. Yes, bring it on.
Oh, Hrvatska.
That's where the Game of Thrones has been
Yeah,
recorded as well,
you see there you see.
Hrvatska bila tatirana na glasovanju.
It's King's Landing.
Oh,
It's actually King's Landing. And look at the picture. Croatia is one of the most beautiful coastlines. It's a beautiful new vacation destination. And look, for example, how beautiful that big arena is there. You have no clue how many Roman Empire treasures are hidden in Croatia. Croatia is the country that went to the finals of the world football games. You know.
But there's something else. The number one right now on the business for home Rising Stars is also from Croatia, I think, or not?
What is that?
I still don't know what is the CR, but...
It looks that that's Croatia, yes. Wow. And wow.
Or Costa Rica, I don't know.
Costa Rica, that's
Croatia.
And what are the bring me Croatia? I want to see. Croatia is €250 price per unit.
Yeah, Costa Rica, somebody said.
And 2,800 units only. So can you imagine, divide that by 250 and you see when that country is chosen, it can be a fast runner as well. Average income 600 and it's rapidly growing, and they predict that already in 2025 Croatia will have an average income of around 2,000, like Poland is going to have as well. So it's one of the richest regions over there, and it's rapidly growing, and it brought some famous tennis players, isn't it? Djokovic comes from Croatia, or is it from Serbia?
Serbia.
From Serbia. Who came from Croatia? Football players.
Wow.
Croatia is famous for its sports people. How do we do? Are we having one more country available?
1503.
Wow.
So we finally got to the point where we would have been in the beginning of this call, but anyway, we made a jump. We are almost 200 now away from the number 3, so I think he doesn't feel too well right now. So we can get to the
Next country.
This is the 5th already.
No, we have 2 to go. Now, I know this is. What do you think about this?
This is a big region.
Wow, this is India is the fastest growing country when it comes to people. They think that in 2 years India has more people than China. At capital Mumbai.
We get some people in the chat. Luka Modric is a famous player
Luka Modric.
from Real Madrid.
Modric.
It's nice when we have the
And
chat on.
Goran Ivanisevic.
That's a tennis player. I know that. I know that guy.
Croatia.
Now we get some chat in there as well.
Yes, now we get in the chat. Look, the average income normally the average income in India is way lower. It's sometimes below €100, but especially this region, Mumbai, the head capital, is the richest region of India. That's why we choose India. We split it up. As you see, like we did with Russia, we brought in Moscow first, like we did with Brazil. So now we have actually Rio de Janeiro, country gives double passports, and it's a famous country that you know, when you look at Aladdin, that is a little bit coming out of that region, and it has a beautiful city with beautiful names like Marrakesh and Casablanca. So the last country is Morocco. Morocco, it's wow. I think this is head capital Rabat. Can you imagine? The most famous cities are Casablanca and Marrakesh, and look, 36 million people, but there are at least 50 million Moroccans living outside in France, Belgium, Netherlands, and €125 only price per unit. That makes a difference. But you see, because it's a rapidly growing country, we have 6,400 units for this country. But I think that Morocco will be a strong contender. What do you think?
I think that together with some of the other regions, we have a lot of new regions. You would say that the other 5 regions that lost, that maybe they have something extra, but let's see. It wouldn't surprise me if 2 or 3 of these new regions will win also from the
Mumbai, Croatia, we have Poland and Austria. It will be a tough game with the existing ones.
Somebody wants to have France. Let me know in the chat what country you want then.
Yeah. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I like to say this to you as well. I know French and of course California.
Slovenia.
And Slovenia. Yeah, Slovenia. I'll be honest with you, Slovenia was
a close call. Was a close call.
We had to decide between. Can I share that?
No. Let's not say between which one and which one, but for sure it was competing with the 5 regions that we have right now, and it was a close call.
Actually, Slovenia was the last country that fall out. It was number 6 actually on the list. So you never know. Slovenia can be on the way, but you know, it depends as well which countries are voted, because we saw 3 countries.
Some other ideas on the call. Some people on the call that want Switzerland.
Yeah. Now let's see how good Austria sells. Yeah. Because we need countries in different categories. Not everybody has €1,000 to buy a unit. So we look a little bit about what is already in there, and as well we look at which countries were chosen. Last time England was chosen, so we could bring another European country. Japan was chosen. We have
Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska could be.
North Pole.
And how many units do you want to have on the North Pole?
I don't know. What is the population?
That units must be paid in
but in a way it makes sense, because I'd rather go in the virtual world to minus
Mars,
50 than in
Mars.
real.
No, we first do the planet Earth. First we do the planet Earth.
But then you already know that in the future we can go everywhere.
We can go everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We have a beautiful list, so it depends a little bit as well what is chosen. And when we choose a country that, we try to replace, we try to have countries from all over the world in it. So when now 3 countries out of Latin America are chosen, we will bring some more. When none of them are chosen, we have now 2 of the Arab world. We have still Lebanon there, we have now Morocco in it. We choose
Algeria, Kosovo, Curacao. Is the translation only now kicking in, or?
it comes a little bit later, Curacao.
Nepal.
Nepal. Yes, Nepal is beautiful. I saw beautiful countries, by the way, that finished all the vaccines. You know, Bhutan. Bhutan is obviously the first country in the world that has vaccinated everybody.
How many people are living there?
Less than Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Less than 800,000, but they did it all in 1 month. They start.
Monaco.
They start. Monaco. That's a beautiful one as well. Monaco.
We add everything to the list and we discuss it somewhere in the next month. And
Somewhere it will come. Somewhere the Vatican.
So the special promotion that we already announced last week, but you never know if everybody was on the call last week, so let's put it big as well, so that everybody understands this and write it down. So 100% of the view will be used for rank calculation, and remember that last month we announced this as a promotion?
Yes.
But last week we announced that this is not only a promotion anymore, but it's just something that is part of the official compensation plan now. Then a new promotion that we launched last week is also that the month of April and May will be combined for volume for rank calculation. So another extra way to get to a higher rank, and that's important to understand. You have now 3 days left to get your packages, your memberships for the view, to get the double global units. Because in 3 days we end that, then that part is over. But something else that you need to understand is that this month, the stronger you finish this month, the better start you have for the month of May. And like we told you, April and May will be combined. So whatever you do this month comes on top of the next month to get to a higher rank.
Yeah, I think this is, together with the 90-day game plan that a lot of people are in, this is a perfect, so I expect a lot of people in the month of May that are getting high qualifications. But you can see it happening when now already on the lower level are coming to new irons, new bronzes, new silver, new gold, new platinum, new topazes. Then you will see that later on you will get the higher qualifications. And I think it's time that we get a new ambassador, a new crown diamond.
100%. So let's make a new agreement. We have now 5 days, 14 hours and 54 minutes and 49 seconds before the pool ends. We made an agreement last week, but let's do it again. Next week we want, actually this week we will announce something that is going to make a lot of you very happy. But on Sunday we want to go and explain about the leadership pool. Now the leadership pool is going to blow you away. And instead of what you have in the other pools is something that you can actually buy and then can participate in that pool. But a leadership pool is not something you can buy. You can only earn. Yeah. By getting to a certain rank, by showing consistency, by showing that you are leading by example. There's many ways to get extra units in the leadership pool.
We had that for last week, we had that for this week.
But we really want to do it next week. We will explain in detail what the leadership pool means, but we will also announce, on top of that, a special promotion that comes with the leadership pool. But we want to have another 500 at least.
I want to over 2,000.
At least over 2,000 votes this week. So we are actually already over 1,500. And if you really want to go crazy, let's kick him to the #1 position.
Yeah, that's only 2,330. When we can go to 2,000, we can hit it to 2,500.
And then we have a lot of announcements coming in that week after that as well. So it's every week we have something that we share with the people that is going to make their life easier, better, stronger.
You know, move up, and we are now at 1,535.
But we started 70 below the #2, and now we are way over 200 above it. So at least we did something.
Let's see if we can get that 2,000 done in the next 2 days.
100%. And then we have next week a lot of good information for you guys.
And we will get a beautiful new promotion. Wow. I wanted to do that today. You guys, you messed it up, but you are good on the way, so make sure you get us to the 2,000 and we will give you something that will mesmerize you.
Yeah.
And will not only mesmerize you, it will be a huge benefit of your organization and all your new people.
It will help you to push so hard for the rest of the month to make it a very strong month. And like you said, that's something that you can help to go to the next month. To answer your question, for this month we added the region to vote for Morocco, not Monaco. But Monaco was one of the things that came in the chat that somebody suggested. But the country that is added is Morocco. It was a question that just came by.
And it starts on the 15th.
On the 15th, we open up the voting and all of you guys can again do the voting. So thank you everybody. I think this concludes our call.
Yes, so what do we do?
Strength and honor.
It's all about you.